Anna Turner had always considered herself an ordinary woman living an ordinary life. She worked as a librarian at the small-town public library, loved gardening, enjoyed making homemade bread on weekends, and spent quiet evenings with her husband, Daniel, watching old movies. Life was steady, comfortable, and if she was honest, a little predictable. Daniel was a high school history teacher, and together, they had built a home full of love and laughter. But after 10 years of marriage, Anna began to notice something she couldn't ignore. The spark of excitement that once lit her days had faded into routine. One Friday evening, Anna sat curled up on the couch, a cup of chamomile tea warming her hands, while Daniel graded papers at the dining table. "You've been quiet lately," Daniel said without looking up. "Something on your mind?" Anna hesitated. "Do you ever feel like our lives are on repeat?" Daniel looked at her then, his kind eyes softening. "You mean predictable?" "Yes," Anna admitted. "Don't get me wrong, I'm happy. I don't know. I feel like I'm standing still while the world keeps moving." Daniel set down his pen and walked over, sitting beside her. "Maybe it's time to try something new." Anna laughed softly. "Like what?" He smiled. "Let's find out together." The following week, Daniel handed Anna a small envelope after dinner. Inside was a brochure for a weekend creative writing retreat in the mountains, something Anna had never considered before. "I thought of you," he said. "You've always loved stories, and you're such a good writer in your journals. Why not give it a try?" Anna's first reaction was to refuse. "Daniel, I wouldn't know anyone there. I've never even read my writing out loud." "That's the point," he replied gently. "It's new. It's different. And you won't be doing it alone. I'll be there, cheering you on from home." Anna stared at the brochure that night long after Daniel had gone to bed. A part of her wanted to throw it in the drawer and forget it. Another part, the quiet, curious part, wondered if maybe this was the change she needed. Saturday morning, she signed up. The retreat was set in a rustic lodge surrounded by pine forests, with a view of distant snow-capped mountains. When Anna arrived, the air smelled of wood smoke and fresh rain. She felt awkward carrying her notebook into a room full of strangers, but the warm smiles and welcoming atmosphere eased her nerves. The first session began with introductions, and Anna was surprised to find that many people there were just like her, nervous beginners who simply loved the idea of telling a story. Over the course of the weekend, Anna wrote more than she had in years. She poured her heart into short pieces inspired by her childhood, her marriage, and her quiet moments alone in the garden. Reading her words aloud in front of others terrified her, but when she finished, the room filled with applause. One fellow attendee, a retired teacher named Margaret, squeezed her hand afterward. "Your story was beautiful. You have a gift." Anna felt something shift inside her. For the first time in a long time, she felt brave. When she returned home Sunday night, Daniel was waiting at the door. "How is it?" he asked, taking her bag. Anna's smile was brighter than he'd seen in years. It was life-changing. From then on, Anna began carving out time each week to write. She joined a local writers group, submitted short stories to small magazines, and even had one published. Each step was a little victory, a reminder that she could do things she'd once thought were impossible. Daniel supported her every step of the way. He'd make tea while she wrote late into the evening, listen patiently to her story drafts, and remind her of how proud he was. One evening, as they sat on the porch watching the sunset, Anna turned to him. "You know, none of this would have happened if you hadn't pushed me." Daniel shook his head. "I didn't push you. I just reminded you that you were capable of more than you realized." Months later, Anna stood at the front of a community center, reading her latest short story to an audience of over 100 people. She spotted Daniel in the front row, smiling like she'd just won the lottery. When the applause came, Anna felt tears prick her eyes. She wasn't just a librarian, a gardener, or a wife. She was a storyteller, and she'd found her voice. Trying something new had given her more than a hobby. It had given her confidence, courage, and a deeper connection with the man who had always believed in her. As they walked to the car that night, Daniel slipped his hand into hers. "So," he said, What's next? Anna laughed, the sound full of joy and certainty. Whatever scares me the most. I think that's where the magic is. And in that moment, she knew life would never feel on repeat again.